Welcome to Ostriv Alpha 3. We're going to go straight into the game. I'm very excited about this update, and we're straight in there. First thing we do is lay down our camp. I've just got to remember the controls. This is our camp, so let's just lay it down here as a bit of a different starting position, and have a closer look. The details are incredible. What have we got here? This is the well. I've got a camp cart parking. I don't remember that from before. Maybe I do. There's a pile of 10,000 wood. That's more than before. Camp centre, that's where we've got our mayor and all our builders to get going. And this is our camp storage. So we've got 1,000 iron, 1,600 nails and 1,200 thatch. We need to start building as soon as we possibly can. And I think I'm going to build it's the first thing you've got to build, is the forestry. We're going to lay that down and rotate it round, and we're having it near the camp just so it's quick to build. I've built it other places before. Okay, done. We're laying it down and we're just getting moving on this one. Next thing we've got to build is everything you need for a house. So here we go, 1,000 clay, 5,000 wood, 100 nails and 300 thatch. So we've got the wood sorted with the forestry. We've got loads of nails to start with, so we need to get clay and we need to get thatch. So let's lay down a clay pit, and we can lay that down near our wood production. We'll get on with that. Clay pit's here. And we can spin it around. If you bash it into another building, you can see where the entrance is. There we go. Let's have it like here. Ooh, we're gonna put it down there. I'm happy with that. And we're gonna do some rows of houses around here, but I'm gonna set them up in a very specific way that's very important, because you need to allow access through them. And we need a thatchery. And all this stuff on the riverfront is where you get your thatch from. So let's lay down the thatchery. Now where is it? There's so many things on here now. What's new? Stone mining camp. Thatchery's here. Stone mining camp's new. So all the thatch is going to go in that yard in the front. We could have it up here, couldn't we? Be nice and close. Lay it down there. So we've got stuff that we've laid down and that we're building. Here's our build queue up in the top right hand corner. And let's speed up the game slightly. So all these tents around the outside are where people are living in at the moment. And top left, it's telling us what we need to do first. So we've built that forestry, or we are building. Let's go and see it get built. Look, they're bringing all these resources. Putting in these posts into the ground first. Some wooden crates there. This is the maximum zoom in level. Should we just watch this building be built? It's very nice detail how they do it, literally plank by plank. Let's watch this get built. Come back to it. And what we can do is start laying down some of our first houses. Here we go. Let's just... What are you guys doing? What stage are you up to now? We'll lay some houses down in a few very short moments, and we'll see what else is new in the game. It's a big update, and it's been a long time coming. Look at that. There it is. We'll employ someone in there straight away. In fact, we'll just employ 3 guys. Looks like you can only employ men in some buildings, women in others, and men and women in other professions. Put down some houses here, so they're nice and close to the woodcutters, and nice and close to the camp as well, so we can get them built fast. We want to progress quickly in this game, and if you hold down Shift, you can just add on houses. So we're going to build. How many tents are there? 3, 6, 9... 9 houses we need. Oh, it's not letting us build on uneven terrain. That's interesting. Hasn't done that before. Let's spin this around and have another house opposite. There must be some sort of... So there's nothing in health. In religion, there's a church. That's new. In education, nothing yet. Still a work in progress, this game. So lots to do. Nothing new in decoration, which is a shame. Town hall, that's the same in the government buildings. Trade and transport, what have we got new here? Stable, that's for horses, so we'll have wagons as well. Wagon shed, there we go. Those two are new. What else have we got that's new? Saddlery, that's for making, obviously, saddles for the horses. Lime kiln, lime works, I don't know what that's for yet. Maybe for building. And anything else that's new? Looks like that's it. Stone mining camp, of course. Oil workshop we've had already. Nothing new in water. And no new houses. So, what's this thing with terrain? Copy a building. World map. I'm just seeing if there's anything to do with terrain. No, we're just on uneven terrain and it's not going to let us build the houses on the uneven terrain, which I don't remember being there in the previous versions, but it's got a bonus because it's leaving a gap in between these houses, which we definitely want. Go into a bird's eye view. If you hold Alt, it disables snapping. So there we go. Disabled snapping, and we're bringing it out to lay down there. We're building our first house, and we've built the thatchery down here. So let's employ some people there. Thatchery, if we go on the hire options here, we can hire men and we can hire women, but let's untick the men and just hire women there because there are not many jobs for women early on. We want to employ as many people as we can. So we'll just join on to this house now and just build a few more. And we're just going to build small rows like terraced houses like we do in the UK. There we go, there's our first house. Let's have a look. There it is, and it is in a little bit of a valley there. Let's have a look all the way round, see what it's got going on. There are my mouse skills. I hope you appreciate them. Clay pit, you don't need anyone working there, that just works on its own. And as people move into the houses, we will lose tents. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No one's moved in yet. We'll see a tent disappear imminently. There's another house being built. Is anyone in? Oh, we have had some people move in. So maybe that's a change. We'll see what happens to the tents as we build more houses. Maybe we'll just have the option of removing them manually. So there we go. Let's put some more houses on. Now I want to stick to small rows and then have gaps in between them. And let's do the other way round. Then we need to look at, once we've got all of our houses, which is 9 of them, we need to start looking at food production. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one more. Okay, let's finish off this row down here then. Another one down there. I should just hold down shift and that'll let me just keep popping them down. But it's such a detailed game, just want to get them right. Okay, we're going to start off another row and have lots of gaps in between them, and you can see where we're going to go up to with our housing. There we go. We'll have a little row there for people to get through. Oh, it's so hard to get them all lined up. Just going to go with that. We'll just see how they look when they're built. In terms of decorations, we'll show you how all these little alleyways can start to look really cool. And we'll do this one on the end. And go in here. Look, we've got this little archway going in there. Or there's a bigger one. Small arch, big arch. No, big arch is probably a bit big. We'll go with the small one. And lay it down. And we can lay it down there. And what you can do is have the fences go right up to it. I can't quite tell Go in a bit closer. There's the fence. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It matches the others. And you can basically get the fence again, block off the edges and make them go through the middle. And then we have a load of alleyways. So we've got one going up there, and then up here, and then another one going up there. And we'll put all little archways across all the alleyways, and we can put down some really nice looking trees. I quite like the cottonwood tree. When you lay it down, it doesn't grow straight away. It has to be planted, and then it has to grow up through all of its different phases of growth. We'll put a couple on the side there. Start making it look nice, and we'll do a bit more on decoration later, but I want to get into some more of the game, and can't wait to get into some of these updated buildings and see what they do. I don't know what the lime kiln or the lime works do. I don't know if that's going to be something to do with building or another production line of stuff. Very new, so we'll experiment with that and see what it's all about. But for now, we're going to put down a fishing dock and a boatyard. Oh, we can squeeze a fishing dock here, so we'll do that. There's uneven terrain further to the right, and we'll put down the boatyard. Now, if you ask which one should go first, it's actually the fishing dock, strangely enough. And the boatyard can go on more uneven terrain, which is great. So we'll put that down there. You've got to have the fishing dock built first, because you've got to be able to order the boats from the fishing dock for the boatyard to then make. But it doesn't really matter which way round you make them. Let's see how we're getting on with employment. Oh, look, tents are disappearing there as families have moved into the houses, so that's great. We've got 2 houses already, and we're going to go for a UK style terraced house kind of row. We may go back to back, I'm not sure yet. See how it develops. Clay pit, look, we've got the infinite sign there, so that we're going to get infinite clay from that clay pit. But once you've laid it down, you can't move it, so be sure that you're happy where it lands. And there we go. Oh wow, okay, these quantities of wood have gone up massively. Before you could only store like 100, 200, maybe a couple of hundred. These are our limits of 10,000, and we've got 14,500 already. So we've got plenty of wood to build with anyway. That's an interesting change. They're always, you know, looking at the balance and changing things and improving things. And from what I understand, it was one developer working on this for many years, and more recently has taken on more help. But what an incredible game. You can see these paths forming. These will just form naturally as people walk through them. They make their own paths. We don't have to lay down any roads, it's just the buildings, and the roads take care of themselves, which is a nice change. Now let's do some more decoration. Do you know what? We need to lay down some benches. People will rest on the benches when you put them down, and we should get people going straight on them. I say. Let's do this house. People have got carts there. They're used to... Whoa, look at that uneven terrain. Cool. That's quite something. Yeah, once the carts wear out, so let's have a look at the cart store. See this sort of lifeline at the bottom there, the green bar. Once that goes down to 0, the carts won't work anymore. So we will need a carpenter. So let's have a look at that and lay it down, because it's important. Although, something we will need is... so many buildings, I just need to try and find it. We need a smithy. Makes nails, horseshoes and metal tools. The smithy hasn't made horseshoes before. Let's make a little bit of an industrial area. We'll put you next to the wood guys. Hang on. Just need to rotate you slightly. You're a bit off. Oh, it's never going to be perfect. Let's lay you down there. And do you know what else we will need? We need charcoal piles, because we need to make charcoal to fuel the fires that the smithy's going to make. And we can be... Let's rotate the entrances so they're facing outwards this way. So we'll lay down 2, so one can be burning while the other one is just ready. And we can be filling those charcoal piles once they're built. They should be pretty quick to build. Oh look, they're filling them already. So you don't need to build them, just lay them down. Because all of this wood, we've got tons, and we may as well get them collecting more wood and just filling these up while we've got time. We've got 4 houses, and we've lost... should have lost 4 tents by now. And look at all the stuff people come in with. 120 flour, 108 potatoes, dried fish, sallow, that's pork fat. We've got milk, sunflower oil, drinking water of course, and firewood. And we get firewood from the forestry as well, which is there. Logs and wood, that's wood for building. I think the logs are then turned into firewood. There we go, got our first charcoal pile building up. Oh, it's being burnt. So we'll wait for that to burn. And I think, yeah, there's a long line of people to get built. So I wonder if we can add a couple of builders and maybe take off a couple of these people in the forestry, because we've got loads of wood now. Just see if we can get a few more builders. And we're only on a slow speed in the game, so we can increase that. Oh look, we've got money coming in already in the economy. So you can actually set taxes, but only when you've got a town hall. And previously I found it very difficult to make money, but it looks like they're balancing it a bit differently this time. And this is everything we've got. So they've definitely changed all the quantities of everything. So really interesting update. There are huge changes. Oh yeah, and in the forestry you've got to have 2 people. One person can't carry a log on their own, you see. How many builders have we got? Yeah. How much wood have we got? Do we need builders more or wood more? Not sure. Let's go for the builders first. And we've got loads of thatch. Now, one of the interesting things, kind of little hacks you can do in this game, is to build warehouses and granaries, whichever is appropriate, like a warehouse, nearby some of your production buildings. That way you can be moving, for example, the wood into the warehouse, and then they can go out and keep collecting it, and you're not going to be restricted by the actual building's limits on what they can hold. So I'll be quite tempted to put a warehouse down here. Oh, and it's a nice compact building. I think they've changed the look of that. I think it was a bit bigger before. It's not perfectly straight, but we'll go with it. Look, got someone on the bench. Hello, who are you? 20 years, no education, you're unemployed, we need to find you a job. That's the thing with the early game, we don't have anywhere to employ the women, except for the thatchery, but we've got full employment there. But once you start getting farms and things like that, then you can employ more women. Now, market stall is an interesting one, so let's just put it on the edge of town. We can put it by some existing roads, actually. Just put it there, near our camp. There we go. And this is where everyone's going to get their food and their stuff. So the first thing we can put on straight away is firewood, and we can employ a worker, woman, because we've got plenty of women available. And then once we've got our fishing up and running, we can do fish. Where are we? Fish. So we'll just put that on ready. And then once we start to be able to import salt with the trading post, we can make dry fish, but not until then. So I quite like the terrain here. Look at that. I hadn't quite realised where I was building before before I laid them down. We're in a bit of a hillside, which is cool. We can put some more decorations out, can't we? Should we have some alleyways here? I guess we kind of have. It would be quite nice actually to have some market stalls in there. So if I... Yeah, and we've made a big enough space for a couple of small ones. This is a big alleyway. That might take a large arch. Ooh, just... Is that going to fit? Uneven terrain. Oh, doesn't like the uneven terrain. Ooh, that's a shame. Wonder if a small arch would sit better on uneven terrain. Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, shall we lay it down and then force people through it? I've worked out that fence 1 is the same as the houses, and we'll just join them up to make them go through the arch for no particular reason other than wanting order in an otherwise chaotic world. So we've got our houses building very nicely. Build houses for all families in the camp before winter comes. Oh, I like it. It's family still in tents 2. Gives you, just at a glance, 1 family left. So we've just got 1 house to build. And we've got all these builders on it. What we do need to build, actually, is going to be some water supplies. Because... Where is it? There's water over here. There we go. Once we start dismantling our camp to make everything look pretty, we'll want water on the edge there of the village, and I quite like putting it on the edge of the rows so they can just go out to the end and pick up their water, and then maybe we could have some, I don't know, around and about. So once those are built, I will wait for them to fill up, because when you build a new well, it starts off empty and then it takes time to build up. And then once these 2 have built up, we'll get rid of this well that's out in the middle of nowhere. Our tents are disappearing on their own. Cart park. We can do a cart park somewhere that we choose. Ah, look, there we go. They're getting worn out, these carts. So really, it's the carpenter that's going to be next. I don't want to run out of any nails either. How many have we got left? We've got 490 nails left. Let's just put the smithy after the houses, because the houses are the priority. I think we're okay building a boatyard and a fishing dock before the smithy, before the nails run out, but I just want to be sure, because I'm not quite sure of the balancing. And ooh, look at this. Look at this. Look at all those paths. This is our village. How good is that looking? I love it. This is the river where they're going to be fishing. And this is our map, so we've got quite a lot of space. Look at that. I think actually the edge of the map's down here somewhere. Got a big old space to build into up here. Can make a really big village. Turns into a town, really. I'm quite liking this start. Oh, here we go. We're building the smithy. Let's watch this get built. So that's going up fast. There we go. That's definitely had a change in look. It looked different before. So I'm really liking it. It looks different as well, because the buildings were looking a bit the same. Look at that. It's really nice. Just trying to get all the different angles. Here we go. Hopefully you're not getting too frustrated by my mouse skills. Now we need to employ more people there, so let's start taking people off the building. And one more... Ooh, take one more builder off. So we've taken 3 builders off, and we're going to put 1 more back on the forestry, and they'll appear there shortly. And then we'll have 2 workers in the smithy starting to make nails, metal parts, and... metal parts are for the wagons, for the upkeep of the wagons, to repair them. So we've got, yeah, they're getting low on energy, so they'll need repairing soon. We'll lay down carpenter. Where's the carpenter? It'd be good if they were in like alphabetical order. Here we go. Or if we could like arrange the buildings in a different order. put this down here. So we've got a lovely sort of commercial industrial row of buildings there. Done it, laid it down. We'll move this cart park so it doesn't get in the way. And we've just got one more house, one more tent. No, all the tents have gone. We've done our houses. How good is that? So we can we can get rid of these. It seems a shame to demolish the bench, but I'm going to do it. And the campfire. You've got houses now. Go to your houses. Look, someone's sitting down for a rest, so we'll put some benches out. We haven't built our wells yet, so we'll leave that well for now. This one's ours. This storage, camp storage. Okay, so we'll need a warehouse, which we've got up there. So we'll wait until that's built. And then camp centre, that kind of gets replaced with the town hall, which is good to build as soon as possible because it gives you control over your economy. So we've got a lot left to build, and we're going to speed up the game. We can lay down another house opposite, just so we've got a spare house. There we go, you can see our rows now, and we've got access to them. And I'll show you actually why you don't necessarily need to build another house straight away. And it's because, if it'll show us... it's not... I'll have to wait until that house is built then. There are criteria for bringing in new people to the village. You need to have a good water supply, food supply, and other things. And we don't have a food supply up and running yet, so we'll show you that as soon as it appears. But here we're starting to build our fishing dock. Delivering all the raw materials, all the wood. We've got plenty of wood. So that's good. Once food production is up and running, that'll be a pretty happy day. And I think next we'll put down a cart park just so we've got everything that we need. And it's going to be in trade and transport. Wagon shed? Cart parking, here we go. We'll go with cart parking first, and we'll build up to a wagon shed and stables because we'll need food supply for the animals. And we'll build quite like the idea of a wagon shed on the end here, so people can just sort of pick one up. Do it. Ooh, yes, we're going to go with it there. This is our village so far. It's looking very nice. I've got another house for all the OCD people out there to square that rectangle. There we go, we've got our fishing dock. We're going to need to employ people there, however we need to have boats first, so we'll request one boat so that when the boatyard is built we can employ someone at the boatyard and they'll get making a boat, and then once the boat's delivered we'll then employ someone at the fishing dock and start fishing, and they can bring in fish to the people, and that will be our first food production. We've got, there we go. Let's watch it get built. Oh, they're so close together, I hadn't realised. Very nice indeed. Okay, let's employ someone at the boatyard. We will have to micromanage people, so we need to unemploy someone from building, and gradually we'll get slower and slower at building, but we're starting up our production. So we need 2,000 wood for a fishing boat. Okay, we'll wait for you to come along. We've ordered our boat. There's the dried fish when you get your salt. You can set your limits. And this is the start of our game. The new update, the Alpha 3. A few new buildings to explore, and what a game. All the paths are being made, and I think that's a great place to stop for this episode. Join me in the next episode where we will explore all of the new buildings in time. There's the warehouse being built. Thank you for watching.